Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another talk series that is titled Setting Tone of Life, which is powered by Lupin and it is being presented by IHW Council. Integrated Health and Wellness Council is a think tank that works basically on advocating changes and awareness around good health and well-being. Now, we'll be starting with this Setting Tone of Life series, and this is the first discussion in the series where we'll be talking about how heart health is important, how cholesterol is related to that, and how physical exercises and, of course, yoga can play a big role in maintaining your cholesterol level and your heart health. Now, to start with, I would just like to give you a brief introduction on the kind of problems that the modern lifestyle has, is witnessing. If we look at the present scenario, heart problems or high cholesterol levels were one considered the problems that were faced by elderly people. But in the last decade, we have seen that more and more healthy people, owing to a very stressful lifestyle, owing to problems, has are having heart-related issues. In fact, according to the Global Burden Disease Report, around 1.2 million deaths in India occurred in 2019 due to cholesterol-related issues. Now, to talk about that without further wasting everyone's time, I would just like to welcome Ms. Vandana Gupta to our show. Vandana, welcome to the talk show, and I thank you on behalf of the IHW Council for taking out time from your schedule and agreeing to be a part of this show. Now, Vandana is leading, yoga expert. She has been associated with yoga for almost a decade, and she's presently working with. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Vanna, can you hear
Yes,
me?
I
So
can.
please, so please uh, welcome Ms. Vandana Gupta. She's the founder of Yoga Vandana. She's an acclaimed wellness coach and yoga expert, presently working with Lal Bahadur Shastri, National Academy of Administration, Government of India, as a yoga teacher. She has been into yoga coaching for almost a decade and has trained bureaucrats and foreign diplomats in various government organizations and institutions. Vandana, I welcome you to the show. And of course, since I've already given a background, my first question would be very much
Thank
on
you.
the context of how yoga, heart problems, and of course, cholesterol management is all interrelated. So if you could tell our viewers about that. Over to you, Vandana.
Thank you so much for having me. Namaste, everyone. So, let me tell you a little bit of yoga before I will speak about the correlation between the any kind of ailment or maybe heart or a healthy heart, how it is actually correlated to yoga. Yoga is not merely an exercise, it's not a workout, it's a work in. And nowadays we see there's a lot of stress happening around, stress of everything. Maybe if someone is getting stuck in traffic, they just get stressed out over this also. So how to manage these small things and a bigger stress also? It's a day to day practice. It's not just one thing that okay, today I will not do this and I'm sorted. It doesn't happen this way. So there are eight limbs of yoga. If you practice these eight limbs of yoga, you are sorted for life. So as I just said, that yoga is not a workout; it's actually a work in, or in simple words, it's a lifestyle which we live. We don't just practice; we just live. So when I talk about the eight limbs of yoga, the initial two are the yamas and niyamas. Where in yamas, it's about the behavior or the conduction which we have with the outside world, how we just conduct with people around us, with the outside world, so where we follow the non-violence, the truthfulness, and so forth. When it comes to the niyamas, it's about the self-discipline. Then comes the asan part, and when we talk about yoga in today's world, everyone understand yoga as yogasan. Yogasan is merely one of the limb of it, but yoga is a very vast science, or I would say the art. So After yogasan, actually yogasan is not something which is very strenuous, where you are only focusing on building the muscle or strengthening on the some organ of your body. It is actually about the when we talk about the yogic text, it is written Sthir Sukham Asan. So yogasan means steady, comfortable posture. If you can sit steadily and comfortably for a couple of hours, that's yogasan itself. So bringing a lot of mindfulness and awareness, whatever you do and practice in day-to-day life. Then comes the pranayama part, the breathing techniques. When we talk about pranayama, it literally means controlling of your vital energy force. So prana means vital energy force and ayami means controlling or balancing. After pranayam, after understanding these four, if we practice these four, the four coming after these are very easy to understand. The fifth one is pratyahara, which means withdrawal of our own senses. So going deeper within, connecting with our own self. This is where we understand a lot of how to manage our stress. So when we are in the deeper connection with our own self, then nothing can from the outside world can actually touch. Stress, we are in the material world, stress will come. But we would know how to let this go also. Then comes the dharana, the contemplation part, the concentration part. We just contemplate on anything which happens. We just give it a thought a little, but we don't linger around. We just let this go also. Contemplate what is good for us. We just keep that. What is not good, we just let it go easily. And then comes the dhyana, the meditation. Now, a lot of people will comes to my class and say, "Humse meditation nahi hota. We can't do meditation. We can't sit because we can't think straight." So for that, just if you are practicing the initial four limbs of yoga, you will be able to meditate even very easily. And meditation is not something a rocket science. You just sitting with your own self and enjoying your own company in a way, in a very simpler way. And then the process is there. And the last one is samadhi. So merging with the higher self. It's not about merging with some god or anything else. If you can understand in a very simpler word where we are merging with our own self, so our individual self with the higher self or our own. So this is where we understand the correlation of heart and yoga or the cholesterol and yoga. What happens when we are stressed out or a lot of anxiety happens, the hormone release happens in our body, like cortisol or adrenaline. After these kind of hormonal release in our body, our arteries get narrow. Hence, there is a not like a blood flow is not as good as should be, and it leads to a lot of heart issues later. What yoga does, it's a very clear cut thing. Because we can manage our stress with yoga, we are deeper connected with our own self. Mentally, we are very calm. Physically, we are relaxed, and emotionally, we are balanced. So, yoga actually work as the offset for all this stress which comes from any kind of stress from the outside world, be it personal or professional. We know how to manage it well. I'm not saying that stress will not happen. If something is happening in the outside world, it may just come, but it will not trigger you. It will not just
Right.
go and sit and have a coffee with some stress. So it
Right.
won't happen
Right.
this way, you know. So yoga doesn't only work on the physical body, it works on your mental body, your emotional body, your energy body, and the spiritual body. So all five bodies are in one line, then nothing can actually disturb your heart rate or heartbeat. And when it is in the balance or probably in control, then I'm sure that cholesterol is not going to happen. Then, of course, the heart problems are not going to happen. Of course, you have to lead a little healthy lifestyle. As I said, that yoga is not just merely an exercise or just doing some yoga asan. It is actually overall well-being where you focus on the food, what you eat, with mindfully.
Right. That was what my next question was. Since you
Okay.
talked about how yoga is not simply physical exercises, but there are a certain, steps that are involved. And most importantly, you talked about lifestyle. So
Yeah.
since, as I said in the beginning only that, younger people are becoming prone to heart issues, problems, high level of cholesterol, high BP, which is all interlinked. If we talk about stress, lifestyle issues, then of course, eating habits. So since as a yoga expert, as a fitness expert, what are the changes that you would, like people to inculcate in their daily lives, apart from, of course, yoga and physical activity. But since yoga is a broader concept in that sense, what are the other lifestyle changes that you would, ask them to initiate for a healthier heart and healthier body as such?
First, I will start with a disciplined life, a little discipline in your life. That's very important. When we talk about lifestyle, today we see there is no discipline in life. We are Netflixing till 4 in the morning, we are sleeping and hitting the bed till 12 noon, or probably
Right.
maybe later than that.
Very
So
true.
this has to come in control. You need to see when to sleep. Our body is more sun than the moon. So our body function happens according to the sunrise. And we get lethargic as the moon rises. That's the time for us to rest. If we will not do it, there are physical stress which will hit you first, and mental stress will be the byproduct of it. Right? So it's not, stress doesn't only happen here or here. It happens in the physical body. Some aches and pains, some lethargicness, not feeling like doing anything, just being couch potato or scrolling through social media. So in youngster, you mentioned about youngster, they are actually looking for a lot of quick fixes. There is a kind of weight loss obsession happening in the market. Everybody wants to lose weight because it's like sheep-like behavior. They are seeing on social media, they are looking at some actor, actresses, or probably their role models, whomsoever are fit by looks. You might have seen there are a lot of death happens in last few years. They were young enough, physically very fit. They used to go to gym, they were athletes. What was wrong with them? They were physically all right. There was some sort of a stress. There's some sort of rat race they were in. Or probably their eating habits were not correct. Or probably they were not leading as disciplined lifestyle as they should. So first of all, we need to fix our body clock. Then comes to our eating habits, what we are eating. So very simple. Whatever comes from the shelf life, we should minimize it. I'm not saying that, of course, there are times when we will not be able to just chuck it completely from our lifestyle, but whatever has its shelf life, we need to minimize it as much as possible. Have a lot of water. When it's about the liquid things, people, especially youngsters, opting for carbonated water nowadays, which is probably colas or something which has a lot of shelf life and gives kind of a hit then and there, probably a release of dopamine or whatever it is, but they should control it or probably avoid it completely. So sugary food, carbonated drinks or sugary drinks should be avoided completely. Then if you really want to, people doesn't want to go with plain water. If you really want to drink on something, you can go with coconut water. There are plenty of options. Charge is there. You can have black tea, yada kada, love sometime. Why not? You can have nimbu pani. There are many options. If we really want to, kombucha is there. If we want some kind of flavored thing nowadays, we know how to make it at home. There are shakes which can be easily done at home, rather than bringing a lot of sugary shakes, packed food from the shelves, from some market. I think that is supposed to be cut down. Then comes to the actual food. So add fruits, add vegetables, add grains, whatever our forefather used to do. Very simple to understand. Anything which is sustainable. If all of a sudden I will start eating some Firangi food, which is not from our mainland, we will not get it everyday basis. We have to probably go to some market to get that foreign fruit or foreign vegetable. We probably will not have it for a week or 10 days. The supply is not there. What we do then? So come to your roots. Eat whatever is available in the local markets, because that is what is nourishing your body. This is how your body is made. It is according to the climate. It is according to the weather conditions around. It is according to your genes. So, it's very important but what kind of food we are choosing.
Even
And
in
being
Western
seasonal.
countries nowadays, we have people going back to organic stuff, organic food and all that.
It's okay if you want to go with the organic food, but let it be more local. It should be local food. So if I am opting for avocado, once in a while, okay, it's nice. I love avocados myself, but it's not my daily routine that I'm going to have avocado in my daily routine. Yada kada, like sometimes I love to say yada kada, I don't know why a lot. So sometimes if you feel like having avocado, it's fine. But you should not be dependent on this. You should not be dependent on broccoli when gobi is available there.
Right. Right.
Have your cauliflower. This is what we've been eating since our childhood.
Right. Right.
Our mother, father, our ancient grandfather, and then of course
Yes.
forefather. Everyone used to eat those main food from a mainland.
Right. Right.
So stick to those food. They will actually nourish your body better than anything which comes from the outside. Now, of course, broccoli is very much easily available in the local market, but still be wise what you choose. This is what I meant. So I'm not pinpointing any particular food or fruit or vegetable, but just be very wise when it comes to the food choices. And as I said, if you are not sleeping well, if you're not fixing your body clock, your food, your exercise, nothing is going to help you a lot.
Was coming to that, since my next question was very obviously on sleep, since you talked about how our whole cycle has changed, watching Netflix and movies and whatsoever at nights and then sleeping till noon. So of course sleep. And another question related with that, if you are practicing physical exercises and yoga, more importantly, what is the best time of the day to indulge in that, when you can reap maximum benefit from that? Something
See, it's
on
very
those.
person to person. Honestly, I will not say the morning is the only time you should practice. Morning is a very ideal time. It's a good time to actually practice any physical activity or breathing technique. But if you don't have time in the morning, if your shift is in the morning or probably your office is at 7, whatever it is, or your school, if you are a school teacher, you probably will not get that kind of a time. So whatever suits you the best, you can practice. If you have morning time, then of course choose it for your physical activity and overall well-being, where whatever you practice, be it physical activity like yogasana or breathing techniques or the mindfulness or meditation. Mindfulness actually is a complete day, the daily practice for everything, whatever you are eating, whatever you're doing. So practice this throughout the day. And then if you are not having time in the morning, then dawn is a very good time. In the evening is again a very good time to practice. The only thing you need to consider and always remember, keeping empty stomach conditions. So if you have a heavy meal like a lunch or a big meal like breakfast or lunch, you have to keep at least 4 hours gap.
Okay. Before you go in for any kind of
For yoga, yes, or probably gymming. I'm not very sure of. I think 3 hours is required for that. Also,
right.
It should not hinder with your system while you are exercising for anything.
Right.
And when I talk about yoga again, there is a little difference between yoga and the other exercises, be it gymming or any other exercises, whereas they focus more on building the muscles, strengthening the organs, whereas yoga focus on everything, like
Overall development.
keeping your body relaxed yet working inside,
Right.
keeping
Right.
your mind calm, emotional balance, everything in balance, and then flexibility, strength, building muscles, everything is a byproduct of it. It comes by its own. It happens with yoga. Yeah.
Since it specifically talked about how yoga believes in holistic well-being and managing stress, which is an important prerequisite if we talk about heart health and managing cholesterol and everything, and then we come to blood pressure, and other kind of medical problems which are in a way related to stress. And when we talk about yoga, it is more about mental well-being as well. So could you just tell us about some of the asanas or meditation or any other kind of techniques that work basically wonders for people who have a some kind of cardiovascular issues, or aged people who cannot go for strenuous exercises and all. So how yoga can help them build a better mind and soul and body?
Right. So let me start with yogasan. The one thing which I always talk about a lot is Surya Namaskar or sun salutation, which everyone should practice of any age or every age. I will just add one more thing here. If a kid under 12 years of age is practicing, it's wonderful for them. Why? Because before their puberty hits, I'm taking on an average age is 12 years, where the puberty hits most of the time nowadays. So I'm taking that age on an average. Before it, for their maximum physical and mental growth, they must practice Surya Namaskar. All the adults with no kind of physical ailment, for their overall well-being, should practice Surya Namaskar. People who are there in old age or some kind of ailment, some kind of restriction, physical restrictions they have, they can't perform, they should practice modified Surya Namaskar. So it works as a wonderful cardiovascular. It actually wonderful to calm your mind and relieve your stress also. And spiritual level per, it actually works to connect with your own self deeper. I'll tell you four more simple asana everyone can practice of any age. One is Talasana, simple standing posture. A simple forward fold like Uttanasana. If someone is already suffering with high BP or heart issue, they should keep something to rest their head on. So they should not leave their head hanging down. Then comes the Adho Mukha downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. In that also, if you can just keep something, probably 2 blocks under their head to just support their head, because the blood flow is inverted. This is half inversion postures. These postures are actually very fantastic, very good for the people who are actually suffering with it. Also, not suffering, of course they can practice. If suffering, then also you can, just a little bit of modification is required. And then comes a simple lying down Bhujangasana. So anything which is heart opening. So simple Bhujangasana works wonderfully well here. And then one simple asana, just lie down in Shavasana. Lie down in Shavasana, people think it's just doing nothing, you're sleeping. No, you are not sleeping. You are bringing a lot of awareness. Why yoga is so helpful when we are talking about the management of all these ailments, be it cholesterol or heart disease or diabetes or blood pressure or so on and so forth. Because yoga actually helps you to bring a lot of awareness in your physical body and to understand your body and mind very well. So a lot of awareness is required to manage your stress, to manage your body. Yoga does it wonderfully well. Hence, Shavasana is also a conscious sleep. When you are not sleeping, you are conscious and aware for everything is happening inside. Breath works as I'll talk about the pranayam also, and breath works as the bridge in between your physical and the mental body. So pranayam such as Dirgha pranayam, which is 3-dimensional breathing or the lengthy breath, which happens with your diaphragm. So you will feel your abdomen region is inflating out, your chest is expanding, till your clavicular, you can feel the breath. That's called the Dirgha pranayam. And while exhaling, you will feel that sabse pehle your stomach, your abdomen region is relaxing, then your chest is relaxing, then the clavicular at last. The second pranayam is Samavriti pranayam. If you have no issues, no heart issues, no cholesterol, no BP, then you can practice Samavriti pranayam with retention. If you have these problems, then you should not retain the breath. You can just practice the Samavriti pranayam. And the third one is Anulom Vilom, or the alternative nostril breathing pranayam, where you start through your left nostril, inhalation, exhale through right, inhale through right, exhale through left. That's one round of it. Practice at least 5, 7, 11, 21, whatever is comfortable for you guys. So these kind of things, this actually manages a lot of your stress, all these breathing techniques and the techniques which I spoke earlier, the asana techniques. And when it comes to the meditation, practice simple. Nishpanda bhav is a technique of a meditation where you just follow a sound. You just sit and follow a sound. The Chit Shakti meditation, there is one more Tratak. People who have a lot of problem in focusing, they can start with Tratak also. The only thing I will suggest is practice with some gurus under guidance. That will be beneficial for you to start with. Or if there is nothing, just sit. I spoke about the Dirgha Pranayam. Just sit and watch your breath, how it is flowing. Whatever it is, without any manipulation, it can be shallow or short, it can be mediocre, it can be lengthy, whatever it is, just watch. Be a silent witness of your breath. And gradually you will feel that how your breath is changing, how your mind is calming and body is relaxing just while sitting, simply doing nothing, watching your breath. Thoughts will come. Try not to linger with them. Mind will do its job, let it do. You do yours. You only, if it is wandering, you will just go say hi and hello to your thoughts, come back to your breath. Just remind yourself that you have to come back to your breath. And this is how the meditation practice you will do every day. And this will be the part of your life every day.
Since you have given us such, nice outline on how we can, modify the kinds of exercises, especially for people who are, into old age or with some heart issues. And now talking about if, since we have been working from home and staying at home since the pandemic hit us. So if somebody is practicing yoga at home, so what are the prerequisites? You said that if you're doing it with a guru, it's better since, he can help you better concentrate and things like that. But if we talk about, since if Delhi, Bombay ki agar hum baat kare, there's so much of noise pollution and of course that daily life ka hustle bustle. So any prerequisites that you think if you're practicing yoga at your home or at any other place, what is the kind of environment that which should be there in order to maximize the results for you?
All right. So you spoke about the Delhi and Mumbai. There's a lot of pollution. This is where we ask people not to practice outdoors, whereas yoga should be practiced outdoors. If there's a lot of pollution, then avoid practicing outdoors. You should practice indoors with a nice, lively, clean atmosphere around. So if you think that outdoors are fine, there is cleanliness in the air, you can feel, if there is a lot of pollution, you can actually inhale and exhale pollution. You can feel it. Right, your eyes may burn, you will feel kind of smelly air.
Yes, that burn smell and all.
Yeah, I know. So if you're feeling that, then don't practice in the open environment. Do it indoors. There are a lot of plants, indoor plants, which purify air. You can do, you can actually bring those plants, plant those in your room, wherever you want to practice your yogic practice, be it yoga, pranayam, or a meditation. When we talk about under the guidance of yoga guru, you don't have to actually look for a yoga guru if you can practice with a lot of awareness. It's only to start with. So, initially the awareness doesn't just come. If you think that with the breathing technique first, the order is to practice pranayam first, then the breath, then the meditation. But in the scenario where you don't have anyone to guide you through every level of it, then I will suggest you to practice the Dirgha Pranayam first. So that a lot of awareness of your breath, your mind and physical body happens. Then you can practice your whatever yogasana you want to practice, and then practice the pranayam like Anulom Vilom or the other pranayam, whatever you practice. The people who have the heart issues or cholesterol, especially the heart issues and high BP, we don't suggest them to practice Bhastrika or Kapalbhati pranayam. If you don't have any of those issues, if you are all hale and hearty, want to practice, you certainly can practice those. But after the asana practice, just one pranayam you need to practice is the Dirgha Pranayam initially, so that you can incorporate the Dirgha breath in every asana you practice, so that you'll be steady, comfortable in every asana you do. Sthir Sukham Asana.
Right. So that was a whole lot of information that our audience, I think, will find very, very relevant and significant when they talk about yoga and good health, mental health-being, and heart issues. Any other takeaway that you would want to, include that you think is important and has not been, discussed yet? Any other thing that you would want to add to the whole discussion?
It's such a vast subject. Combining it just in half an hour will not do a lot of justice to it, but I'm
I can
happy that I
understand that.
could share a lot of it. The
Right.
only thing I want to share with everyone, as I said, there's a lot of weight loss obsession is happening. For that, people are opting for quick fixes. There is no quick fix to anything in life. Please understand this small thing. So, because of this quick fix, there are a lot of youngsters going to the substances which they should not take. Try not to quick fix anything and try not to play with your breath and your heart rate. Let it flow by its own. They are doing wonderfully well for you. Just take care of it. It has come to us as a blessing, as a present. So be present. There is no quick fix to anything. And the last thing, whenever you are coming to a yoga class or going to anywhere, any physical activity, it's not, okay, 10 days I'm done and I'm done for life. No, you have to do it every day. Apart yogasan and breathing techniques, practice mindfulness in everything you do. Bring it a little discipline in your life and practice mindfulness while eating also. No television, no watching me also, no watching, nothing. No screen time at that point of time. So a lot of mindfulness is required in the life to bring a stress-free environment inside and around you.
In a holistic way, and then of course the perfect balance between your mind, body, and soul. That is important.
That is important. Bajaj, what happens, as I just mentioned, that, sometimes we just want to quick fix things, small things. And in that process, we forget what we actually want.
Right.
Right?
Very
So no
true.
quick fixes, just getting up on time, sleeping on time. We have projects. Sometimes we have to be up till late at night. But sometimes it should not be a routine. Your routine should be the way it should be, a disciplined life. I'm not saying that 8 hours sleep is required, but at least sleep peacefully for 6-7 hours.
Right.
Try to just put everything aside from here while you hit your bed. Because next day you are getting up, you will fix everything. If you are at peace. If you are not at peace, nothing is going to get fixed by its own. And you will not be able to do justice with your own self and the things around you.
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you once again. It truly was an enlightening and very interesting session. And I'm sure our viewers got a lot of relevant information, which they'll be, able to implement in life to make the right choices, which are necessary for a healthy lifestyle, mental well-being, and more importantly, for a healthier heart. Thank you once again on behalf of the IHW Council. I thank you for taking out time and being here with us.
Thank you so much
again.
for having me. This was a wonderful opportunity to just share the blessing which I have got. My journey is such for which I have become a yoga teacher, and I always believe in sharing my blessings as much as I can. So I was just trying to share a little bit of my blessing with you all. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you once again. Thank you. So viewers, that is all for today, and I request you to keep on following IHW social media pages for more talk shows and relevant information on a healthy heart, healthy mind, and healthy body. Thank you once again. Thank you. Thank you.